All right, we want to welcome everyone again to another edition of the Autograph Dynasty Podcast with our buddy Tarvarius Moore from the San Francisco 49ers. I'm your host, Jose Gonzalez, and we'd like to welcome once again to the show, Tarvarius.
Yes, thank you for having me.
All right. So, at this point in the season, the Niners have played 2 games, one against the Vikings in week 1, one against the Lions in week 2. So we'll talk a little bit with Tarvarius about the games and his experience and things like that. So we'll start with week 1 against the Vikings. There was, obviously the first game of the season, big game. Can you tell us how it felt, leading up to the game, which was basically your first NFL regular season game?
It was just like a lot of nerves, just a lot of nervousness, and a lot of excitement, I can say. It definitely was a fun time, a fun experience, something I'll never forget. I can just remember basically everything that happened that day, just taking it all in, all my surroundings, all my keys, all my every step that I took. So it just was an experience that I'll never forget.
And so what was it like entering the stadium, when everything was kind of ready, not necessarily warm-ups, but, when everything was getting ready to start? What was that feeling like?
Just a surreal feeling, just to know that I finally made it, I finally arrived. Things that you see each and every day on TV as regular civilians that we see. We watch the game on TV, but to actually be in it, it just was a surreal feeling, just a moment of joy and a moment of happiness.
And so during the game, you had a lot of play on special teams. Can you tell us a little bit about what was that experience like, either playing as a gunner or on kickoffs and things like that?
High pace, very fast. As I can say, special teams is probably some of the fastest plays in the NFL. I mean, you get one shot to showcase every single talent, which is like that on every single play, offense or defense. But it's even more magnified on special teams because you don't have the opportunity if you mess up to go back and correct it the next play. You just have to get it right that play. You have to read all your keys, your technique, assignment for that one play because it can make or break a game. Special teams each and every week is a big part of the game that people win or lose. It comes down to special teams each and every week in this league. So special teams is definitely something that is not taken lightly in this league and that you have to definitely be on your A game.
And what was it like playing as a gunner? Usually you're getting 2 people blocking you, trying to push you out of bounds. What was that like? What was that experience like?
Very physical, fast-paced, and just, like I said, everything about the first game was just nerves. You actually just could feel it, just a lot of excitement in the stadium for our team. All that we worked for this whole off season, being out there to go out there and showcase our talents on that first game. So it just was a lot of nerves and excitement.
And what was it like? Obviously on the sideline, the 49ers got down a little bit in the second half, but when the team was fighting back, what was kind of that experience like on the sideline?
It was just a never quit attitude, a never quit spirit. I mean, we never thought that we were out of the game. We knew we made some mistakes that hurt us, but we knew we just had to keep fighting and keep believing and keep doing what we had been doing. Just tighten up the little details. It was just the little details that maybe were causing some big plays for the other team. Not taking anything away from those guys because that's a great team. We just had to fix those little keys that basically was the problem, and I felt like we did that on defense, and it showed the second half.
Absolutely. And, obviously the game didn't turn out the way, in favor of the 49ers,
right.
But it didn't seem like anybody was hanging their head after the game. Is that a fair assessment?
That's fair to say. We didn't hang our heads because, it was just week 1. Still disappointed that we didn't get the win because we felt like we could have easily got the win. But it was just more as a sense of urgency, ready for next week. I mean, I felt that way as soon as the game was over, just ready for next week to get back out there and just correct all the mistakes and just let it all show that, we really can be a dominant defense, a dominant team, and I think we did that.
And so, then after the Vikings game, then you guys had the prep for the Lions. How was that preparing for a different team?
Same focus, giving each and every team in this league the same utmost respect, because it could be any given night. Anybody can win any given night. So records never get our attention. We just watch the film, go in and evaluate each and every team the same way that we'd do if we was playing a number one ranked team.
Got it. What was it like? What was the feeling or emotion like playing your first regular season game at Levi Stadium, first home game?
Just ecstatic. I mean, the fans were just over the top, always supporting each and every third down. When we were on defense, it was just loud. They was making it hard for the other team, so we definitely felt love each and every play that we made. The crowd was cheering us on and just always having our backs and just supporting us. So definitely thankful for the 49er faithful.
And I think, again, you played a lot on special teams against the Lions. Was it kind of the same, similar type of gameplay in terms on special teams as what you saw with the Vikings, or did the Lions do some things differently, things like that?
No different game plan. Going against the Lions, our special teams coordinator was going against his old mentor, so he definitely was on edge that week, more so now than ever. And we just wanted to go out there and definitely put on a great showcase for him. Just, going against his old mentor, the guy that taught him everything he knows entering into the league. So it was definitely, we wanted to send him out on a good note.
Right. And what do you think is kind of more difficult to do, is covering punts or the kickoffs?
I say punts.
Okay.
Definitely covering punts. From a gunner's aspect, it's you're getting that double vice on you most of the time. If you're a really good gunner like the one that we have on the other side, I mean, sometimes they even try to triple them. So
right,
it's definitely tough out there on punt as the gunner, but you just have to fight and scratch and claw basically each and every play to get down there for your team.
Right, and the other gunner for the Niners right now is Raheem Mostert, right?
Yes, sir.
And do you guys kind of like bounce ideas off each other, like, hey, look for this, look for that, things like that?
All the time. I mean, I'm always trying to learn from him. He's almost a Pro Bowler. Could have been last year, for injury, wouldn't have stopped him. But that's definitely on his mindset this year to become a Pro Bowler. So, and I mean, he's a great gunner. As you see, he makes plays each and every game. I try to learn as much as I can from him. He's always coming, trying to show me what he saw on certain looks and certain plays like that. So we definitely talk to each other a lot about what we see out there, and we have a lot of competition. We try to compete to see who can get there the fastest and things like that. So
absolutely,
I think we definitely make each other better.
And obviously the Niners got out to a pretty good lead in the game against the Lions, and then things got a little bit tighter. What was it like though, just being in that atmosphere, kind of holding them off, and then finally holding them off at the end of the game? What was that like?
It was nerve-wracking. It's definitely nerve-wracking, but it just goes to show you that you can never lighten up on any team, any opponent in this league, because they can come back easily just like that. But it definitely was nerve-wracking and just a feeling of enjoyment and elation after we got the win. So, to get that first win and to do it at Levi Stadium in front of our fans, it definitely was a very ecstatic moment.
Absolutely. Like you said, you guys picked up the first win of the season. The first one's always the hardest one to get, kind of breaking the ice, so to speak. And this coming week, you guys are facing off against the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're kind of thinking in terms of preparation for that game?
A very tough matchup, a very hot team right now at this time, and they've known for the past years to have a very dynamic special teams unit as far as on the kick return and punt return. So we definitely will have our hands full. It's a challenge that I'm ready, that I feel like our special team unit as a whole is ready to face and just go out there and prove to everyone. Yeah,
because they have Tyreek Hill, who I think is a pretty dynamic, special teamer. So it's going to be interesting, maybe a little bit fun to kind of, see how that plays out.
Definitely going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
They got, the fastest man in the NFL right now, so he has his respect around the league, and we just gotta go out there and stop him.
Absolutely. Obviously, you haven't had as much opportunity to play on the defensive side of the ball yet. But I'm pretty sure you're looking forward to, maybe one day, getting in on the defensive side and, covering some of the other teams' receivers, running backs, tight ends.
Definitely. And right now, my whole goal plan is just, working hard as I can every single day in practice to, prove to the coaches that I'm ready to step in their role. And I think doing that first comes on special teams, showing them that you can be reliable, you can be trusted. And from that point on, I think it's only up from there. So
absolutely. And the Niners do have a pretty tough schedule to begin the season. You guys had a couple of tough games so far, and then you guys have the Chiefs and the Chargers coming up. But I'm pretty sure the Niners are just kind of taking this whole thing one game at a time, not looking too far ahead.
Definitely, the biggest game that we have each and every week is the game that we have that week. So we try not to look too far ahead. We just always try to just worry about the opponent that we have that week, because that's all we can do. We can't worry about what happened last week or worry about what's going to happen next week. We just have to prepare and just make sure that we're always ready for our opponent that week.
Absolutely. And just kind of moving forward, what are some of the things that you after two games that you're like, I wish maybe I could clean up this technique or do this differently? What are some of those things that you want to maybe improve upon?
Just my footwork off the line as far as a gunner. I think that caused some of my problems in the first game maybe, and I think I did a better job of that the second game, cleaning it up. So it's just continue to work my craft each and every day using the technique that the coaches give us and just going out there and execute.
Absolutely. And so we'll transition a little bit away from the football stuff and kind of ask you a couple of fan-submitted questions. And so some of these are more like, what are your favorite XYZ?
Right.
So what would you say is your favorite, or what are some of your favorite artists right now, music artists?
Drake is an all-time favorite. I can listen to Drake each and every day.
Okay.
The guy is just a great artist. I love his music. I love what he does. That's actually a hard one, and it's crazy because I listen to music a lot. I really just like all types of music. I enjoy music as a whole, just as a genre. In general, really, it definitely takes me away from football, puts me in a different state of mind, a different zone. So, but to answer the question, I just say Drake right now.
Okay. On Drake's latest album, Scorpion, what is your favorite, or what are some of your favorite songs?
Mob Ties, Emotionless, Jaded. Let's see, what else is on there that I really like?
The one I would go with is probably Survival.
Right, yeah, I like Survival. It's hard to choose out of him. I hear every single album that he always puts out. Always has a great selection.
Absolutely.
But those probably be my favorite.
And then the one with Jay-Z, I like that one too.
Yeah,
it's a solid song.
Oh,
it's solid. Okay, so. Next question, fan submitted. What is your favorite food or like foods or meal? That sort of thing.
My favorite food is pizza.
Okay.
It'll definitely, without a doubt, be pizza. I feel like I could eat pizza every day.
Okay.
I think I did for 1 week. I ate pizza straight.
Oh, wow.
Every single day.
You didn't get sick from that, or?
No.
Okay. What is your?
Luckily, I did.
Yeah, exactly. What is your favorite type of pizza?
Meat lovers.
Okay.
Meat lovers.
Okay. If you would have said pineapple, I don't know.
No.
We might have had to cut this podcast off.
No pineapples.
Okay. And one question we get asked a lot, and you may have answered this one before, but just in case you haven't, who is kind of like the person on the team who's maybe like the biggest jokester, who likes to joke around a lot, things like that?
That's a tough one.
And you can give more than one answer.
Yeah, just in the defensive back room alone, we have a lot of characters. Jimmy Ward, Jaquaski Tart. Sherm is even funny in his own way. He likes to crack jokes all the time. On the team,
Fred said a DJ Reed. That was his choice.
Yeah, DJ. Definitely DJ. His own person. DJ is just in the class of his own.
Okay.
Joe, for sure, Joe. The most outgoing most flamboyant character we have on the team is Joe.
Okay.
And Mike's right there with him. Mike McGlinchey, I mean,
Okay.
he's pretty funny himself.
Yeah, no, the linemen seem to be
Oh, yeah.
taking the lead on that one.
Yeah, they're pretty funny. Pretty funny guys.
Okay. And then we understand that the 49ers had an event or some sort of charity event recently.
Right.
Did you participate in that?
Yes.
Okay. And how did that go? How was that experience?
It was just we actually had more than one
Okay.
recently. We just had we had one that we was raising money. Basically, we had a lot of sponsors and donors come down and just sit down with the team, enjoy the players for the evening, and auctioned off a lot of money for organizations and things like that in the community in the San Jose, Santa Clara area.
Okay.
So that definitely was nice. The most recently we just had was a basically like a feed the needy, feed the shelter.
Okay.
So it was a lot of rookies that actually participated in that as well. So it was just a great event overall. Just being able to give back, being able to put a smile on a lot of people's faces. Just your presence alone, being able to cheer someone up, make someone's day. It definitely was a great experience.
Okay. Yeah, no, it seems like the Niners do give back a lot to the community with different events and different organized activities. Just giving back.
Right.
Forgot one question, fan submitted, but now I just remembered it. Who would you say is kind of the DJ of the locker room? Who's controlling the music every day?
KB, Kendrick Bourne,
Really?
without a doubt.
Okay.
Without a doubt, every single day we know he's gonna be on the speaker dancing around the locker room like he always does.
Okay. I think Fred mentioned him as well.
Oh, yeah.
I think he mentioned him as well.
It has something to do with music and dancing. KB will be there.
Okay. And kind of intertwined with another previous question, have you found any sorts of restaurants or spots that you're like in anywhere in the Bay Area that you're like, oh man, that place is really good? Or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
I really haven't had much opportunity to just explore like I really would want to, as far as with the restaurants and things like that. But I've definitely been in the area. I definitely like to view the art museum, the San Jose
Okay.
Art Museum. I enjoy art and things like that. So museums, viewing scenery. I like to go up to the mountain sometimes.
Okay.
Just things like that in general is basically what I like to do. So I have done that in the city.
And do you like to draw or take pictures, or what type of art do you like to?
Pictures mostly.
Okay.
I can't draw. I wish I could. I used to try, but I'm not very artistic in that sense. But I definitely like to take pictures, view pictures, things like that.
Okay. So just so everyone listening to the podcast, be on the lookout for Tarvarius' work, maybe on his Instagram or on his Twitter, whatever it may be. You never know. He might throw something up there. We definitely like to thank Tarvarius for sitting down with us again, talking a little bit about the games, talking a little bit about some of his likes in in terms of music, in terms of food, things like that. As the weeks go on, we'll be able to talk with Tarvarius a little bit more about some of the other games and other events he participates in, and maybe some of the art stuff that he's able to do. So we'd like to thank Tarvarius once again for sitting down with us, and we will talk with everyone on the next podcast.